The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCmedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCmedia News, city children take advantage of free haircuts organized by Thrive for Humanity. We speak with the new leadership at the HealthFirst Family Care Center. And Winterfest Fall River 2025 takes place this Saturday. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, February 20th, 2025. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. On this school vacation week, over 70 city children were treated to free haircuts at the Cultural Center in downtown Fall River, thanks to the generosity of the unhoused advocacy organization Thrive for Humanity. Thrive President Laura Bradley says 12 South Coast and Rhode Island area stylists enthusiastically donated their services to the cause.
About a year ago, I was speaking with the public school counselors, and they had informed me that there were many children that were unhoused or, very vulnerable, and haircuts was a very big deal for them. That's so important to their mental health and their physical well-being. It just affects, like you're saying, the whole being. We had a granddad that was in here with his grandson, and he had been waiting for over 3 months to get a haircut for his grandson.
The free haircut event expands upon Thrive's weekly gathering of the unhoused and vulnerable in Fall River at the Revival Church of the Nation on Plymouth Avenue.
Our clients just have increased, and so we know that there's so many people in need, and so they come to our outreach twice a week on Thursday. We call it a resource day. We have counselors, we have a medical team, and we provide them with a hot meal and hygienes, clothes, tents, sleeping bags, whatever that they need.
The City of Fall River continues to look for opportunities to create more affordable housing through either the foreclosure of abandoned properties or working with disinterested landlords to sell.
We're constantly pushing these properties to get them in the hands of somebody that will either renovate them, knock them down, build new. It's a blight on a neighborhood. We're doing a house right now on Thomas Street, and that's a very nice street right off of Pleasant. And this house was boarded up. There were junk cars in the garage, and it was junk everywhere. It was a real mess inside. We had to bring in a cleaning crew to literally, take out 6 40-yard bins of trash. And now it's going to be, we're going to bid it out and renovate it, and people aren't going to have to live next to an eyesore. You have a bunch of heirs around a piece of property that aren't comfortable with selling it. One wants to keep it, two want to sell it, and it turns into a complete and utter chaotic event. Some have moved away, some have passed away. It's a mix of things, and it's trying to get in touch with someone that can say, I want to keep it and fix it. I need help. I want to sell it. Whatever they do. Finally getting down to that person, sometimes you can make headway, and sometimes these people are just so disconnected. It's amazing to me that people would let property just disintegrate in the city of Fall River now. It is of such value. Almost every single piece of property in this city can be sold at the right price. Someone will buy it, someone will take interest in it, and we just need people to step forward and let us know how we can help.
On the other side of the issue, Mayor Coogan remains encouraged by the majority of city property owners who value their homes.
And I see so many people taking pride in their property and putting a new porch on, new steps, windows, siding, paint job. And that's what makes you feel good, because I know some houses that were complete eyesores. I'm thinking of the one up on County Street. I talked to a friend of mine that did that project. There's one behind Good Shepherd. There was one on the corner of Locust and Winter. And I mean, these are properties that the owners have taken the pride to bring them back, and it does reflect on the neighborhood. The more people take interest in their property, the more the property values in that neighborhood go up. The more people take interest in the properties that are butted.
The city continues to look toward revitalizing the Flint neighborhood. Mayor Paul Coogan this week announced that local nonprofits can apply for grants of up to $5,000 on projects that enhance the neighborhood and its well-being.
We're doing a lot of small things up there also, whether it's painting some of the boxes or a crosswalk. So we're looking for other ideas and how we can get people to invest some money in the Flint to make it more livable. I think you'll be seeing shortly Secretary Howe from the Office of Economic Development is going to be taking a walk down Pleasant Street with us, and probably with some of our local elected officials. I think Representative Fiola, Senator Rodrick has kind of been the one pushing it, but we're going to go walking and see potential uses for the bond money that's also there. There's a lot of money in that. It's like $7 million, but we are desperately, again, trying to get some reinvigorate the Flint. And I think you're going to see a lot of stuff happening down there shortly. Things are already happening, and we're going to try to keep the ball rolling.
The deadline to submit an application to the city's Community Development Agency is April 14th, with project completed needed by August 1st. There's new leadership at Fall River's Community Health Center, HealthFirst Family Care Center on Quarry Street. Dr. Lisa Jones came on board as the organization's chief executive officer 3 months ago, replacing longtime CEO Julie Almond. Dr. Jones recently was the chief medical officer at Duffy Medical Center in Hyannis. Dr. Jones lives in Somerset and also served at the Greater New Bedford Community Health Center. She comes to the job with an understanding of the healthcare needs of gateway cities like Fall River.
Providing truly the kind of care that's needed, not the kind of care that we think is needed. And that might have to do with language, that might have to do with programming. You know, do we see a burden of behavioral health concerns in Fall River? If so, it's our responsibility as a community health center to build up our behavioral health program. Do we see a burden of substance use disorder? If we do, then it's our responsibility to build up programming around that. And truly being responsible to patient populations. What languages do we need interpreters for? What support services? Do we need someone here to help people with housing? Do we need someone here to connect people with health insurance? What do people need in order to maximize their healthy potential?
Yeah. Dr. Jones says her role is to build upon the great work done at HealthFirst over the 53 years of its existence. She sees as one area of expansion collaborating with city partners in supporting the needs of the city's unhoused population.
Where HealthFirst could slot in is by providing that patient-centered primary care to our unhoused residents, our unhoused neighbors. You typically have to provide care in a slightly different way, more meeting people where they are, a little more focused on process, not outcome, in terms of celebrating small victories, right? It's a victory to pick up your prescription. It's a victory to get people connected with care, as opposed to, we might think, you know, for the broader population, that what's important is controlling your diabetes to a hemoglobin A1C of 6. Well, for our unhoused neighbors, it might be just getting into an appointment with a provider, or being comfortable discussing what their chronic health conditions are.
Dr. Jones also hopes to expand the health center's telehealth options for patients. Returning to HealthFirst in a leadership role is Dr. Uma Jalati, who comes on board as the center's chief medical officer. Dr. Jalati is a family medical practitioner who served at HealthFirst from 2006 to 2013. She says she's excited to, quote, return home to promote the variety of services HealthFirst offers the community.
Federally health centers, especially HealthFirst, we cater to all people, irrespective of their backgrounds, irrespective of their quality, irrespective of their ability to pay. Our area is pretty needy. We are above average nationally for obesity, for smoking, for chronic diseases. So we provide multiple services. We address their medical needs, we address their dental needs, we address their psychosocial needs, we have WIC, we have dental, so we look at a patient more than just as a number and as an individual patient. We look at it more as a community, and we provide more for the patient so that it helps the whole family.
Dr. Gelati says the accessibility of HealthFirst services can help city residents keep their well-being top of mind, despite the challenges many of them face.
I think people are not prioritizing their health as they should. Definitely chronic diseases, I think the obesity, hypertension, diabetes, smoking, I think those are higher in our community because of the recent changes, I should say, recent pandemic, recent economic status, recent inflation definitely affects. People put their health last. They obviously cannot afford the medication, so they have to choose between their medications versus their daily living. So I think it does. It makes a big impact on their health.
Dr. Jones and Dr. Gelati join a staff that remains dedicated to the mission of community health care.
There is historically this assumption that there is lower quality care provided at community health centers. In fact, the opposite is true. Multiple studies have shown that community health centers produce better outcomes at lower cost. So better outcomes, lower cost. Health centers are a bargain in healthcare, and there are by no means lower caliber or lower quality staff here. What there are here are people who have, our tagline, if you will, is we're the heart of, HealthFirst is the heart of the community. And that to me speaks to the heart of the staff who work here. They're not here solely as careers. They're here because they believe in what community health centers represent, the sense of mission and the sense of possibility in community health centers, I think, is endless.
We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Accounts Payable Clerk, Family Service Association, located at 101 Rock Street, seeks a full-time accounts payable clerk, responsible for processing all invoices received for payment and for undertaking the payment of all creditors. Job number 221-60960. Pilot Plant IT Business Partner. Invigen Pharmaceuticals, located at 927 Current Road, is looking for a full-time Pilot Plant IT Business Partner, responsible for providing IT user support and network infrastructure for the QC lab. Job number 221-59893. Installation and Maintenance Technician. Verizon, located at 450 William S. Canning Boulevard, is seeking a full-time Installation and Maintenance Technician, responsible for installing, splicing, testing, repairing, and maintaining customer-provided equipment. Job number 221-60175. Remote Tax Professional. H&R Block, located at 276 Central Street, is looking for a full-time remote tax professional. For more information, call 508-676-0025. St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Switchboard Operator, job number 221-59766. Nursing Assistant, job number 221-59761. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
My name is David Perry. I'm the president of the Greater Fall River Food Pantry. And what we do here is we provide food to clients that are in need. We're always trying to get more people involved in what we're doing, and we're trying to concentrate on youth, and it's all about helping people, and that's what we should all be doing, is helping someone. So it's a great opportunity for them to come down here and give us a couple of hours a week. It's not long, it's 2 hours a day, and once they start volunteering, it's like a family, it really is. So getting these younger people involved, it's just great. It's great to see, it's great to have younger generations seeing what's going on in the real world, as we call it, and helping out.
I've gotten a new outlook on the community. I've been able to see all sides, helped me learn just a lot about Fall River as a whole.
We like to get students in from 14 years of age and older. It's not about the Greater Fall River Community Food Pantry. It's about what the Greater Fall River Community Food Pantry does as an outreach. We want to reach out to the community. Most schools require that the students put in volunteer hours. We're a perfect example of receiving those students, and that way they get their hours accredited, and it gives them a good learning experience.
Volunteering here made you feel good, felt like you were helping out the community, and also it really helped me out with making my application stand out with having volunteer hours on them. Like when I'm applying for jobs, I've been on the hunt right now, and I've done a lot more interviews since I did charity work here. Makes you really stand out, and also just feels good helping out the community.
I love hearing other people's lives, how other people live, other people's families. It's interesting, and I really like to do this work.
Come down and see what it's like. Come down and take an opportunity to help someone else. Come and see what's really happening in the world out there.
Welcome back. Viva Fall River and the City of Fall River are organizing Winterfest Fall River 2025 along Ferry Street this Saturday. Viva Fall River Executive Director Patty Rigo says Winterfest was organized to celebrate the efforts of Fall River resident Donald LeBlanc, a toboggan craftsman who has competed with his Chowderheads toboggan team at the National Toboggan Championship in Camden, Maine for the last 5 years.
This was so much more than just a man making toboggans. It was about Fall River craftsmanship and his just love for what he was doing and bringing a little bit of Fall River to Camden. So there's like a tent, kind of like a tobogganville that's created, and he would bring stuffed quahogs that he makes, and he would make his own chowder, and it was just kind of like bringing Fall River to this other community in Camden. We wanted to also bring it back to Fall River, and that's how the idea of Winterfest came about. We just wanted to kind of create our own little tobogganville here and celebrate not only this wonderful establishment and all the businesses I mentioned, but Mr. LeBlanc and the Chowderheads, which he is what Fall River is all about.
Winterfest Fall River 2025 will take place Saturday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at 75 Ferry Street outside the Tipsy Toboggan Fireside Pub. Support is also being provided by Canned Heat Craft Beer and Stumpy's Hatchet House.
Mr. LeBlanc's going to bring some toboggans and just kind of show what is it? What's a handmade toboggan? Certainly. And then also they have a trailer that they're going to bring in. In addition to that, we're going to have, there's going to be merchandise from the Chowderheads. I should have brought my hat today. We're also going to have an ice sculpture. So just really leaning into the whole idea of a Winterfest. The Fall River, Viva Fall River and the City of Fall River are going to have a tent where we're going to have activities for kids, all winter-themed activities, free of course. Europa Coffee Shop's going to be providing coffee. Tipsy Toboggan's going to have an outdoor igloo bar, which is, there's such a beautiful outdoor space here. It makes you want to be outside in winter, which is really hard to do for some people like me. And then we're also going to have a special guest, the Yeti. Bigfoot's going to come, and he's going to be available for photographs. And we're also going to have just photo opportunities with the toboggans, photo opportunities with a beautiful lighted snowflake that the city had put out on Gramada Plaza for the holidays. So we're just going to make a village here.
Ms. Rigo says she hopes Winterfest Fall River 2025 will be successful and become an annual event.
any opportunity that we can get to create welcoming events that will let people come in and see what Fall River truly is versus whatever perceived reality they think they have from what they read in the news or what somebody said to them. This is an opportunity always to put our best foot forward and show people what we have. I've also always been really passionate about highlighting Fall River's recreational opportunities, and where we might not have a toboggan championship, we certainly have some pretty fast slopes down at North Park and Kennedy Park. So, I mean, you know, next year, we're already talking about next year, of course, we would love to do something where Mr. LeBlanc could actually work with kids and show them how toboggans are made, and maybe they make their own out of, like, you can make them out of wax and cardboard. So, I mean, this is just, it's melding tradition with just community, which I always love to do that.
Viva Fall River is also planning for the next Fall River Restaurant Week, happening April 4th through 13th. Ms. Rigo says last year, 25 residents with diverse menus took part. Interested locations are asked to sign up before March 7th.
This effort is not meant to add another thing to the restaurant's plate. It is meant to literally bring new people in and encourage people to try places that they might not typically think about because you get into your routine. So we've not only done we're continuing the price fix, so 3-course meal for $35, exclusive of tax and gratuity and beverages. But we're also adding this thing this year just called Chef's Choice. So create whatever kind of menu you want. It can be a specially culled menu from what you already have. Maybe you always wanted to try a new dish or a concept, but you were unsure. This is the perfect time to do it. So we're willing to work with anybody. We just want to promote you. Keeping it super simple this year. People can go on the Viva Fall River website, or you can go to bit.ly/FRRW2025. It's also all over our social media. I'll also be sending emails out to all the restaurants and Facebook messages. I just want as many as possible, and of course it's free. It's just about promoting Fall River's culinary culture. So the more the merrier, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody to be included.
We will wrap up this edition of FRC Media News after this.
Hey, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we are showing you Buddy. Buddy down here is an 8-year-old orange short hair that came to us recently. Part of the reason why I'm showing him to you today is because he's been very shy in the time that he's been here. He is super duper sweet. He just kind of finds a spot that he can go, and he depresses me a little bit because he just kind of sits there and he pouts. He's a nice, middle-aged cat. He would do very well with a nice calm home. As you can see, he's got this cone on right now. He just got neutered a couple days ago. He was 8, and yes, he still had not been neutered. A lot of people get surprised by that, but that's actually very common. If you think that you might be able to provide that calm and stable home for him, you can come down and visit us at Forever Paws Animal Shelter at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. Today we have Leandrin, a little bit of an odd name, but she is a very nice girl. Very young still, a 1.5 years old. She is a pity mix. She is a very energetic young lady. She will definitely need somebody with an active lifestyle. She is good with other dogs. She's actually good with cats too. And since she is a pit mix, we do have some special rules with those. For one thing, if you have any other dog in the house, we ask that they be the opposite gender. She's female, of course, so we would want a male. If we don't have a history of them with children, which in her particular case we do not, we are not willing to place them in a home with children. If you'd like to come down and meet her, you can come down to Forever Paws at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. You can also give us a phone call at 508-677-9154, or even email us at FPAS1, that's the letters FPAS, the number 1, at foreverpaws.com.
That'll do it for this week's edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. on Channel 95 and Fall River HD, located on Channel 1072. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.